really cool. I would love to play that. I would have some difficulty, unfortunately, in certain motion situations to be able to detect exactly what they're doing. There's times when I can, and times when I can't. It just depends on the lighting. But the concept of that game is great. It's more interactive for both the viewer and for the player, okay? Because you get to be the eye of the audience, basically, and you can upload it to your YouTube or your Twitter or your Facebook or whatever. And I just think that it's such a cool idea. Thumbs up to Ellen DeGeneres for Heads Up. And it may not be a new concept, but it's the first time I've heard of it. And I really like that idea. It's supposed to, by the way, for people who use Android products, they're supposed to have an Android version in the early fall, September they're saying. So definitely do check that out. I'm getting an itch on my foot. I don't think I can get down there to do anything about it. Let's see. It's harder to get started again. Anyway, so check that out. The other thing that was sad to hear about in the news was in Houston, which is my backyard essentially, or maybe it's my front yard. It's more my front yard, because I'm north. But these three men, I think it was 3 or 4 men, were being held in a dungeon-like area. They were lured in with promises of drugs and alcohol. I think really cigarette and alcohol, but they were lured in and kept. And I'm assuming they were homeless or disabled people. And their captors, were taking their disability and living aid checks and cashing them and using their money. That is so evil. See, that's not murder. But to me, those people like that are useless human beings. They're useless. I have no idea who the people were, anything about them. But whoever these men were, and I don't know what the men looked like, who the men were, whether they were white or, black or Asian, and the same goes to the captors. I don't know who they were. But the men who were mistreated, who were kept in that dungeon, whatever, let's just call it dungeon because that's the way it was described in the news article I read. There's my phone going off. Anyways, heads up. Hang on. Anyways, that was wrong to take them and hold them like that. That was evil. And the people who held them, useless human beings in my opinion. Wastes of flesh. Because they robbed these people of their lives. I don't care how down and out the people were who were being held hostage prior to being held hostage. You had absolutely no right to take their freedom from them like that. We have enough issues with government taking freedoms. We do not need to be hurting each other. And I despise the people who held these men captive. And I am so glad that they were freed from it. And I hope that they are given something to show that people care and support. If I knew that they were, because I'm sure it's going to be a nightmare to get money back from Social Security or their support checks for that time they were incarcerated, what they may have lost as a result of being not incarcerated, because that's lawful, but were being captive, held hostage. But it is really difficult for people with disabilities and city-supported or, aid funding to ever give money back, because it's not their fault either. They were doing their part in paying out, and then they have to go back and say, okay, well, we're going to give money back to these people because the money was taken by unlawfully from them. But that money still comes out of taxpayers' pockets. My pocket, your pocket if you happen to be employed. It comes out of our pockets, and the interest paid off that comes from what we pay. And so it's not like I hold those groups, those particular aspects of government liable for it, because I know it's not their fault. But I also know that these people who were held captive need to be able to still get their financial support. So I have no problem with helping back in that situation, because they were already down and out as it was. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they were lazy and didn't want to work, because they had mental challenges, chemical addiction challenges. I have no idea what it was. But I don't want them to go spend money on narcotics and liquor, which may have been what attracted them down there. But it was wrong for them to be held captive. Truly, truly wrong. So, a couple of other things that were in the news that got me. I'm going to try and get them really quickly, because I keep having to split videos because they're too long. Is President Obama. I have to pick on Obama right now for a minute, because I disliked what he did. He came out and said that African American men, black men, are being, young black men, are being displayed negatively in the press. Well, the unfortunate reality, President Obama, is that you're perpetuating hatred by going after George Zimmerman, encouraging people or the grand jury to indict him, which they did, but it was sent to trial, and after he was let off, even the jurors came out and said there was no reason to believe he initiated the problem. They came out and stood up for their decision, saying that there was no reason. I don't know what the jury was made up of, but they were selected by prosecution and defense, and they decided he wasn't guilty based on the evidence. And they wanted to know what manslaughter was, didn't get an answer, made their best choice. I respect them for making their choice. I give them the right to do that. That was the decision that we created, or that our forefathers created in the Constitution, for the right to a trial by peers. They went through it, just like with the OJ thing. I don't have a problem with the OJ people who let off OJ. It's not their fault. They had the evidence they had. They were given what they were given, and reasonable doubt was created. Now, whether it was rightful reasonable doubt that was created or not, I have my own opinion of. But based on what they had to work with, they made their decision, and I respect that they made their decision. Just like I think you have to do with George Zimmerman. But my whole point in this was, President Obama needs to stay out of it. Because, number one, he's not coming forward and saying the fact that there are a lot of black-on-black crimes. And that is very unfortunate. Now, there's white-on-white crimes too, don't get me wrong. But black-on-black, I don't know why there's more attention on one than the other. I don't think it has to do with the skin color. Well, it may. Well, obviously it does when it comes to people of different ethnicities injuring each other. But unfortunately, you want to stop the negative impact of black-on-black crime, and there is a large percentage of black people that are in gangs. It's unfortunate, and it's sad, and it doesn't have to be that way, but it's because there's not enough effort by people to eliminate gangs. There needs to be more effort by the community to eliminate gangs, to basically, effectively put those little smart alecky kids of any creed or color over your knee and whip their ass, or put the fear of God or of existence into them to where they realize the community as a whole will no longer accept it. Work on ending gangs. Put serious effort into ending gangs. I'm all for it. I'll do what I can to help support the ending of gangs. Tell me what the ways are in which I can help. And it's not just a matter of throwing money at the problem. You have to throw community activity, intervention at this issue. Let's end gangs. Let's get white, black, Latino, Asian, whatever, Indian. Let's get them out of gangs and make them realize that the community is no longer going to accept that kind of a survival technique because it infringes on the well-being of society. Let's end it. That's what you need to be coming out against, Mr. Obama. Not talking about how the press is negatively reporting on African Americans or black Americans, because you're contributing to that. You're contributing to racial separation by getting out there and talking about this George Zimmerman thing. And when you look like an ass because he was let off, it doesn't make you any friends. Definitely not in the white community or the Latino community. And probably not friends in the black community, because there are a lot of intelligent people in every ethnicity that know the president needs to stay out of this kind of stuff, because otherwise he's going to create more separation. It would just be like the same thing if the white president that was in office, the idiot that preceded you, much like the idiot that you've become, get involved in personal activities. Good God, I wanted to smack Dan Quayle when he did that whole thing about unwed mothers. But anyways, I gotta go. Can't talk about the other subject tonight because I went on and on. Alright, so take care of yourselves. Stay motivated about what you want. If you've gotten the weight off you want to get off, look at a part of your body you want to improve. Work on that. Treat everybody equally. Michelle Stremmel, I wish I had a chance to comment on a video of yours I saw earlier, because it made me sad and at the same time gave me hope when I see someone like you with such a pure desire to care for people regardless of their walk of life, where they came from. It's not about where you started, it's about how you end up and how you live. That's the most important part. Believe me, it really is. And please take great care of yourself and the people around you as best you can, and live always with passion. See you tomorrow.